Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we'll be creating Hershey bar purses. Now, in Design Space, first we go ahead and select the machine that you'll be using. Today I'll be using the Maker. So you just click on the drop down box and connect your machine. Select your machine. Next, on your left hand side, we click on Projects. In the search box, we're gonna type in clutch and enter. And I'm using the Pebbled Fox leather clutch. We click on that one and we click on Customize. Once on your canvas, we're going to go ahead and size our image. We click on the image, unlock, and the width is 7 and the height is 7.6. Okay, notice right here on your right hand side, your image, your project is already prepared, meaning it's already attached, score lines added, slice, welded, whatever, the whole 9 yards. It's ready for you. Okay, this is a cut. This is not a print and cut. A lot of people get that confused. This is a cut, meaning you will load whatever material you're using to your machine, and your machine will cut whatever you have on your canvas. Now, once we size, you have your score lines, you have your cut, we're going to go ahead and click on Make It. Once on this side, you select the copies you need. We can leave it 12 by 12, whatever material you're using. I'm using a 8.5 by 11, 65-pound colored cardstock. And then my second cardstock will be 65-pound holographic cardstock. It's still, even though it's 12 by 12, I'm still leaving it at 8.5 by 11. Why? Because our image is not going beyond the 8.5 by 11. So you're fine on that. Once we have that set, we go ahead and click on Continue. Once you're on this side, you go ahead and take your cardstock, stick it onto your mat. Wait for the machine to recognize, your computer to recognize your machine, which is the Maker. We're going to set the material. Whatever material you're using, that's the one you're going to choose. An example, if you're using a 65-pound cardstock, why would you use printable vinyl? It's right here. It's not that complicated. It's just to read and follow step by step. I know at times it's hard. I know at times it's overwhelming, but it's step by step. You set your material, and if you cut often, you can go ahead and set your favorites. Now, this is a 65-pound cardstock. I'm going to click on the 60-pound because they don't have no 65-pound. Unless I do custom and then all that. I don't want to do all that. We leave it in default. I don't need less pressure or I don't need more pressure. I'm just going to leave it default. Now, my tools. You need your scoring wheel in clamp B. I'm not using that scoring wheel. I'm going to use my scoring stylus. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on apply, and then you need, of course, your blade in clamp. Oh wait, it changed it now. Clamp the stylus in A, and then the blade in B. Now, once you do that, you, like I said, stick your cardstock on your mat, load your mat to the machine. And then, since this is not an intricate cut, what I do is go ahead and use the fast mode. And then once you cut all of your cardstock, all your purses on different cardstock colors, whatever cardstock you're using, patterned cardstock, you go ahead and unload your mat, and I'll see you back at the table so we can start assembling the purses. Okay, we're back at the table, and let me show you first the cutouts. This is how they come out from the machine. And we are making this one, and the happy birthday. Set that aside. Next thing you'll need is your beads. For this type of clutch, I like using the 4mm beads. 4mm is the size. I don't like going larger than this because then it looks too bulky on the clutch. So let's just go ahead and set this one aside. Your art glitter glue. I don't like to handle the big bottle that I buy. Let me see if I have it here. Because when it's smaller pieces, I'll just transfer it to this little bottle. Right here, the art glitter glue, which works great with cardstock and it dries pretty fast. Next, I have some ink pads. I have some die cuts for my embellishments. And I have my other two embellishments. Well, I found these at my local craft store, AC Moore. Let's put that aside. And I have my foil. But I'll be using, it's all beat up because I be doing a lot of videos with the same foil, the silver. Set that aside. And of course, our chocolate bar. Okay, I have also my Griffin Embossing die cut machine. Sometimes I just don't like to be in the back and forth with my Cricut or my Silhouette, rather than just go on the machine and try and cut this. Don't get me wrong, I love my machines, but it's just sometimes I just don't want to deal with it. Sometimes they take too long. Example, to emboss. Yes, to me it takes way too long. Sometimes I have a rush order that I need to get out by couple of hours. An example like this right here, I emboss it like real quick, and if I try to do this on the machine, it's gonna take me forever. Well, by the time I measure, cut, and do what I need to do, it's gonna take me forever. And let's say I have to do 30 of these, which I had 45 of these to make. So with that said, I have my Griffin electric embossing die cut machine. Let's go ahead and start embossing creating our embellishments. Let's start with this one. I'm using 65-pound glittered cardstock, 65-pound colored cardstock, and a little rhinestone. Now, for the bottom one, it's the big die cut. I'm sorry, the big die cut and then the medium one. I have my A plate, my metal plate, my magnetic sheet, and what I do is place them right here and get my glittered cardstock. And also, I'm going to put them like this, separate. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do the big one. And then this one here. And then since I'm making the bow as well, I take my bow and I'm going to place it here because it'll be silver as well. The bottom part of the bow, what I do is I take my tassel and I cut it. I place it here as well, but I'm not going to do that one because I already have it here. The tassel, and I'll cut it, and then I'll just cut a piece. I'll show you later. And then I need, for the other one, for my other black purse, I made these cute little flowers, but I'm just going to use the silver for this part here. So I'm just going to get that die from this set. Okay, I have the piece of cardstock, and let's see if it fits. Yes, it fits pretty good here. I'm gonna fit it right here. And then for this one, which is turquoise, I found just a piece of scrap that I had laying around right there. We can fit that one there. Then I'm gonna show you about the tassel. This is the die cut. The Cricut also cuts. I think there's a file in Design Space for this one. I'm not sure. Okay, once you have that ready, you take your second plate on top. It's a sandwich. And we're going ahead and pass it through the machine. We hit run. Turn it around. And you pick it up at the other side. I'm going to run it one more time. Why? Because these are unbranded dies. And they are not that, some of them come out great. Some of them you have to do it twice. And also because of that glittered cardstock, it's a little bit heavier than the regular cardstock. So I'm just going to do it twice just in case. Comes out pretty good, pretty easy. So we have this part, and we have this part, which is for the black purse. This is for the other one, and we have our bow. Let's just go ahead and set all this aside. All that aside, and take your weeding tool and just start poking out whatever did not come out when you separated it from the die cut. Let's go ahead and start with the black one. First, you take your cutout. You're going to start folding where you see your score line. Since this is a 65-pound cardstock, you don't have to make pressure, or if you want, you can crease it better, whatever you want. You know, you can with your fingers or your bone folder. We can do that. And then go ahead on, we'll do it on this side as well, and this side. Next, pretty simple. Take your glue. You're going to apply the glue on this tab, you fold in, you hold, set it aside 5, 6 seconds, and it will dry. You don't have to put a whole bunch of glue because the Hershey bar is not that heavy. Okay, we have that. Let's go ahead and set it aside. Let's get the next one. And it's great for any type of favor, for baby showers, birthday celebration, wedding, your bridesmaid as well. And since it's paper, it's a pretty good, like I said, guest favor. Now, if you want to make it more formal, more casual, and you want it for someone that graduated, your son, your daughter, that graduates, you can also use leather, fox leather, and that is more casual for that special person. But if it's for guests at your wedding or birthday party that you're on a budget, you don't want to spend a lot, something cute, simple, beautiful, amazing for a Hershey bar, or just for a couple of dollars, that'll be also a great idea. Let's fold the next one. Okay, let's do this one. Now, for this one, which is, even though it's 65-pound cardstock, it's heavier than this one. And what I like about this one is, even though it's heavier, it does not crack. You have to be careful the type of cardstock that you buy. I see some that buy 100 or 110-pound cardstock. It's a beautiful cardstock, but when you fold it, it cracks and it does not look that pretty. So you got to be very, very careful in which one you're going to use. Now for this one, I'm not going to use glue because it's heavy and it's shiny. It has like this shiny side that I have tried using glue and it comes apart. So what I do is I found this red tape. I heard that people say when it's red tape, it is good. So I found it also at my local craft store, AC Moore. So I do that. And we're going to cut it. Now let's go ahead and what I'm going to do is remove the backing and then close it. Okay. Set it aside. Let's go ahead and get our glue dot. Not our glue dots, I'm sorry. Our Velcro. I found these Velcros in Amazon. I will add the link in the description. These are great because these are thin and it comes too. So what I do is, it's pretty simple. This is great. Take your Velcro, just put it where that little hole is, press down. Then the next one, you want to make sure, just put it on top of this one. Don't put it here, just because sometimes it doesn't align. If you want also, put your Hershey bar in first and then add the Velcro dots. So when you do that, your Velcro dots, you go ahead and take your beads and you're going to measure. What I do is I just take one bead down here. I'll take my next side and put it here, an example. Whatever length you prefer, that's where you're going to cut. And then once I cut, I take it out, I measure, and then I'll go and cut the rest. Now, to glue on the beads, my small glue gun, I use Gorilla Glue sticks, just a dab. Remember, the Hershey bar is not that heavy, so this will not come apart. You can set it aside to dry. Let's close that, and we got it right here. Now, let's grab our next one. And let's do the same. Let's go ahead and add the glue. Okay, let's start first with the black one. We're going to take the first layer, second layer, which is a turquoise, add the glue. But since this is glittered, I'm going to add a little bit of that hot glue as well. We rotate it so we can get right in the middle. Okay, now that it's glued on, we take the other piece and we're going to follow the same steps. And then we take one of your rhinestones and we glue it on top of that. Once you do that, you take the entire piece and we glue it on right on this guide, this little dot right here. And you have your first one. Now let's go ahead and grab our second one. You have these two done, which is the yellow one, and form the bow. For the bow, we just add some little bit of glue on the ends and bringing the bow. Once you bring in both parts, then you take the second part of the bow, add a little bit of glitter on the back, and we're just going to go ahead and set it right in the middle. And then we take our rhinestone and just add it to the middle of the bow. We take the piece of tassel, just gonna cut a piece, and I like it to be a little bit thinner, so I'll just go ahead with my scissors and just cut a little bit of the sides. So, okay, once you split it in half, just cut a little bit so it won't be that long. Spread it, place it on your guide, then glue on the bow. For the bow, I just glue all across. Press down, and there's your second one. For the gray one, which is the happy birthday, I have the embellishment. Let's add some glue right in the middle. Then we add our next embellishment. For the happy birthday sign, what I do, I'm gonna make this one turquoise, is grab my scissors and I'll just go ahead and cut a nice, but I did that one wrong, a nice chunk. I start measuring the size of the tag, and then I'll keep cutting down till I get the desired size, and that one will be great. I take my silver ink pad, I grab a small brush, and what I do is start just spreading a little bit of ink right on the sides, just like that. All around, pretty simple, pretty quick. Spread it all around. You can do it just on the sides, in the middle, whichever you prefer. Just like that. And then grab your black ink. Let me spread this a little bit more on the side. And let me get my stamp. That one I forgot. I'll be right back. I'm gonna have to cut a lot. I forgot that stamp.
You didn't pause it.
No, I can't pause it because when I pause it, se crea más video. It creates a whole bunch of videos, then I don't know which one goes first. I really just let it run, and then when I... Okay, the stamp set is from Celebrate right here. So I'll just take my stamp, I'll place it here. This, if you want, you can create this also on the, with your Cricut. This is go face up. You can create this, like I was saying, with your Cricut, but I just like using different types of machines. And it's, you know, then what you do, take your stamp, press down, and then, well, it did not, I did it like too much. I think I pressed too much. Okay, and then you go ahead and right in the middle. Okay. And then once you do that, you go ahead and glue it on to your purse. That dries pretty fast. And there you go. That's your third one. Next we have the royal blue. What I just do is add a rhinestone right in the middle. And just place it right in the middle. You have to add a, let me lift it up again, a generous amount of hot glue on this one because it's glossy and it will come off. Generous amount and press down. You have your next one. Now I decided to make another one real quick, which is the black one. You can add the beads. You don't have to make them with the beads. I used for this flower this set of dies. Then I just layered them using the art glitter glue, added the glittered silver cardstock, and then the small little rhinestone. Then what you do is take your hot glue and you sit right in the middle. Okay. You have that one. Once you're done placing right in the middle, I have this other die and it says Happy Mother's Day. So what we're gonna do, just add a little dots of glue. And we're gonna go ahead and place it right here. This will be a great Mother's Day gift. And like I was saying, you can add the beads or you can leave it as is. Now, for the Hershey bar, you take your foil paper. Let's go ahead and start wrapping our Hershey bar. Put it right in the middle. And once you fold, you fold. When you get to this part, what you can do is you grab your double-sided tape, not the red one. We don't need the red one for this. The regular double-sided tape, you add it right all across. And then you go ahead and seal. When you seal, it'll come just like this. And then you take your clutch, you place it right inside. We're all done with our purses. I thank you for watching. Thank you for all of your support. Have a great day, and as usual, happy crafting.